The Sith Order and their arch-enemies the Jedi have become synonymous with the dark side and the light side of the Force. However, throughout the Star Wars galaxy's long history, other orders with slightly different philosophies also claim to represent the will of the dark side and the light side of the Force. This video will explore the competing dark side orders, while the rest of the series will delve into lesser known organisations that followed the light side of the Force, as well as the mysterious and poorly misunderstood Grey Jedi organisations. The Prophets of the Dark Side were a Sith splinter group who rejected Darth Bane's Rule of Two philosophy. Founded by the three-eyed human mutant Darth Millennial around 1,000 years before the events of the Clone Wars, the Prophets of the Dark Side sought refuge from the Sith and the Jedi Orders within the ancient Sith Dark Force Temple on the world of Dromund Kaas. They would stay hidden throughout the Republic's Golden Age, honing their skills in the dark side and specialising in predicting future events. During the Clone Wars, the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Darth Sidious, would seek an alliance with the Prophets, hoping to use their skills in dark side premonition to defeat his enemies. During the Imperial era, the Dark Jedi Kadann would become Supreme Prophet of the dark side and a close advisor of the Emperor. The Prophets would predict the destruction of both Death Stars as well as the Emperor's own demise. However, in the Emperor's arrogance, he laughed at the Prophets and became enraged that they would suggest he could be defeated. Many of the Prophets would flee Dromund Kaas to escape the Emperor, while those loyal to the Dark Lord of the Sith would reform the Prophets of the Dark Side into the Church of the Dark Side. The Church of the Dark Side, like their predecessors, were worshippers of the dark side of the Force and were strongly connected to the Imperial military system. However, in reality, the Church of the Dark Side was a sham, created by the Emperor's hand, Black Hole, as a way of ensuring chaos within the Imperial remnant after the death of the Emperor. This would therefore ensure that when the time came for Palpatine to return, the Imperial throne would remain empty. This dark side order would eventually be consumed in a bloody civil war that ravaged the Imperial remnant, with the majority of their leaders perishing only a few years after its formation. The Sorcerers of Rand were one of the more powerful dark side groups, with the previously mentioned Emperor's Hand, Black Hole, a former member of this group. The Sorcerers of Rand did not believe in the dark side or the light side of the Force. They simply believed in the inevitability of destruction and entropy within the universe, believing that to truly serve the will of the dark, one must embrace and perpetuate this destruction. They called this fundamental principle of the universe the dark, and would follow this one simple line of philosophy: only power is real, and the only real power is the power to destroy. Existence is fleeting, destruction is eternal. The Sorcerers of Rand had an ancient history, arguably longer than the Sith themselves. The Sorcerers were formed from a merger between three ancient dark-side cults within the Unknown regions. The first group were known as the Kanzar Exiles and specialised in expanding their faith through the mental enslavement of others. The second cult, the Knell of Mysteri, formed hundreds of thousands of years before the Clone Wars. Their main purpose was to remake the ancient dark-side artifact, the Tauranic Codex, which was said to call forth apocalyptic deities from beyond the netherworld of the Force. While the Knell of Mysteri claimed they could still call forth these deities, it seems more likely that this was simply propaganda. However, their skills in the dark side should still not be underestimated. The third cult that comprised the Sorcerers of Rand were the Warriors of the Shadow, or as they were known in Mandalorian, Dawarda Verda. This cult was formed by a group of Tung, the precursors to the modern-day Mandalorians, hundreds of thousands of years before the Clone Wars. Natives of the world Notron, soon to be known as Coruscant, the Tong embraced the dark while fighting the other native species of the planet, humanity. Eventually they were driven from ancient Coruscant by the humans, fading into obscurity for many thousands of years. While the majority of the Tong would go on to form the Mandalorian culture, a splinter group would escape to the Unknown regions, embracing the dark side even further and attempting to understand the Force through meditation and insight. These three dark side faiths would coalesce to form the Sorcerers of Rand, hiding within the Unknown regions for many thousands of years. The final and most well-known dark side order that rivaled the Sith were of course the Nightsisters. The Nightsisters were formed from the outcasts of the witches of Dathomir. These individuals had often been outcast for practicing forbidden magic such as illusion spells, and would articulate their philosophy in their holy text, the Book of Shadows. This text asserted the importance of the Nightsisters' deities, the Winged Goddess and the Fanged God, using this as justification for exploring the dark side. They would compete with other witches of Dathomir for dominance and would gain notoriety after their failed attempt to destroy Coruscant using an ancient temple known as an Infinity Gate a few years before the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars, the Nightsisters would gain even more prominence on the galactic stage by selling their services to the highest bidder, becoming renowned as fearsome warriors. However, after Mother Talzin's failed assassination attempt against Count Dooku, Grievous would be sent to wipe out the Nightsister clan, very nearly succeeding in their complete annihilation. The Nightsisters would eventually regain enough power to reassert their dominance over Dathomir, but would soon face Palpatine's new empire, which sought to study and utilise the Nightsisters' abilities. Many would escape by allying themselves with criminal gangs, ensuring the survival of this dark side order into the post-imperial era. And that's where I'll leave it for today's video. Let me know if I've missed any dark side orders in the comment section below and I will make a video on them. Also, if you would like me to make a more in-depth video on these organisations, also be sure to let me know in the comment section. The next part in this series will explore the light side organisations that existed alongside and even rivaled the Jedi Order. The final part in the series will explore the infamous Grey Jedi and the various organisations that sought to find balance between the light and the dark. See you in the next video guys, and as always, may the Force be with you.